It was a 3-day weekend, right? Today, came back to school. Guess who I saw? I saw motherfucking Spencer, and I saw Rachel. I said, bitches, what you doing? Spencer was like, yo, man, you can't call me a bitch. Let him go in class anyway. I said, dude. I said, dude, you don't tell me what to do. So I turned to Rachel, right? I said, bitch, what class you going to? She said, sir, please, tell me to stop calling me a bitch. I said, bitch, what you doing? So I slapped the shit out of her, right? And once again, I slit Spencer's throat, and I disposed of him, right? Bitch. So I pulled Rachel into one of the classes, right? I said, bitch, get on your knees. She said, no, what are you doing? I said, bitch, that's not a game. So I pulled out my dick, skied on her forehead, and I told her to lick it. She said, I can't. My tongue doesn't reach that far. I said, bitch, you better make it. So I let it run down her face. Like sports. She started to lick it. She said, oh my God, it doesn't taste good. I said, do I care, bitch? What flavor you want? You want grape? Because I'm black, bitch. So later that night, I called dude Spencer up. Oh yeah, that's right, he's dead. So I called Matthew up. I called Matthew up, right? I said, dude, how's Rachel? Matthew said, dude, she's not doing very well, man. She's kind of scarred. I said, why? She's like, man, I heard what you did to her. I said, bitch, you didn't hear anything. It's not true. So I went to Rachel's house. I'm pounding on the door. Her parents opened the door. I said, Rachel, is she there? Her parents were like, no, who are you? I said, what the fuck? It doesn't matter who I am. Is Rachel there? They closed the door on me. You know what I did? Grabbed my chainsaw from my car. Hacked the door open. Hacked the parents up. Just for fun. And I said, bitch, Rachel, get your ass downstairs. She came like an obedient little girl. Because I'll tear her ass up. And you know what I did next? I tore that ass up. And I just threw her around. Yeah. So I threw her around. And I said, how do you like that? She said, oh my God, you're better than this. I said, bitch, that's right. So the next day we went to school. And I said, come on, man. Stop. What's wrong with you? In my high-pitched voice. Rachel was like, oh my God, I can't walk straight. I was like, bitch, that's the black dick. And I said, Rachel, I'm going to tear that ass up again. And she said, no, don't do it. Bitch! And so I just slapped at her and walked away. The very next day. What are you talking about?
We're gonna go.
Oh. Okay. So, the very next day, Matthew came up to me again. He said, man, I heard what you said. I said, Matthew, you white boy, I'm tired of you. So you know what I did? Pulled out my chainsaw, hacked him up. Now you tell me, is that unforgivable? Ski.